If any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men, or all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him, and it shall be given to him. Wisdom is another topic of interest under our series, Character and Virtues. May the Lord teach us wisdom and how to apply it in every facet of our lives.
It's Lecture Tuesdays. Woo!
Good day, everyone. I am Misi. Welcome back to my channel where we are currently discussing the
Living
theme
is set apart. Unapologetically.
Living is
Set apart. Unapologetically. Living is set apart. Unapologetically.
Character and virtues. Wisdom. The theme, unconventional wisdom resembling foolishness. From the palace to pit. Like Joseph, some days to fulfill destiny, you must run for your life in a way that comes off as foolishness. When you are tempted to obey man's opinions above God's divine instructions, when there's pressure from spiritual forces to allay and destroy your walk with God, when you're staying in a place calls for your privet. Some days the greatest work God will do in your life will happen in a pit, a place of obscurity, where power is concealed for God's glory to be revealed. Be encouraged. Some days God's best work happens in the pit. Though a place of restrictions can also be a place of peace, where you can truly rest from all worries, when you only see God and focus on Him and you depend on Him wholeheartedly for everything, where your trust is without borders. Some days the pit may slow you down, but for every of restrictions there is God's protection. Stay encouraged. God is with you. It will birth purpose and ground you in trust and obedience. From palace to pit. Some days a palace to the pit is needed if you are too comfortable remaining as an obscurity, not living your best life by living in a comfort that limits your destiny. So God allows for the pit where there is a stretching and discomfort, and it is discomforting, but that discomfort, pain and pressure will reveal your true hidden potential, treasured treasure, and awaken your seed of greatness for you to flourish and grow and glow and prosper. From the palace to pits, only then can true upliftment from the Lord come. And the Bible verse that says, my help coming from the Lord. And you now return to the palace as not an obscurity, but a person of honor, who God has conferred honor on and light. Here, the setback is greater than comeback. And another reason why from the palace to the pit is needed is when the opposition is greater than the support, likened to Christ's death on the cross. He had to die to live again. Also, it's also needed if you are losing sight of your love for God and others, especially in a case of intense persecution. It can also occur when you are reigning and rising, but you have more friend enemies than true friends, and God must preserve your purity. From the palace to pit, it could be you losing sight of a personality in a position of power to uplift you, and such terms and conditions devaluate your walk with God, the place of God as king in your life, when such has the power to steer people into misinterpreting your motives, when someone or anything demands your apology for loving God much more than the material things of the world, for pursuing the place of destiny, fulfillment. Some days your Potiphar's wife, a person or group or of authority that could have uplifted you, and in this case we are talking about it from a place of spiritual perspectives, witchcraft operating in physical, in the physical. Had you followed terms and instructions that violated God's instructions and devaluated your words in the eyes of men, such may never apologize when your time of rising from the pits arises. But just like David the psalmist says, he prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Your Potiphar's wife will be forced to celebrate you. I will be forced to actually need what you have to offer. Now, wisdom, unconventional wisdom resembling foolishness is 1. Basking in your uniqueness. 2. Downplaying your strength while you be it in silence. 3. Publicizing a dream, vision, goal, talent, business idea, or a startup to the point of desperation, and after a while taking a step back. 4. Agreement on idea or opinion to gain greater grounds for demolishing that opinion if negative to your work with God, and or to maintain peace, a form of quiet, and avoid drawing attention to yourself, to avoid proving yourself, basically. Like the Bible verse, love wanted not to self. 5. Living a toxic situation, relationship, environment Evil mindsets that attempts to confer a reputation of your current or past seasons or future seasons by means of revelation, if it's to destroy the beauty of the process and downplay your uniqueness to the point you lose sight of God, who is your life purpose, and you become fully wish-washy. And also, number 6, doing the opposite to the way you feel, just so you can maintain balance. And an example here is smiling when you feel to laugh, or complaining instead of appraising, if the end point would be good and godly. 1. Basking in your uniqueness. Sooner than later, we have episodes called Dynamic Fridays. We'll discuss more your uniqueness. Basically, your uniqueness speaks of your individuality, that lifestyle or way of thinking that makes you a much better person, that lifestyle that will help you in whatever season you are in to grow better, to glow, and be more loving. For example, a woman who always shows motherly affection to others right from a very tender age, that can be a uniqueness or individuality, such that no matter her season, from sufferings to pain, she still cares about her family life, other people's family life. An example is those nosy but extremely well-meaning people who may almost ask all the time, are you married yet? Another key individuality can be a really disciplined person, meaning no matter the phase of life they are in, they maintain discipline, although for some reasons they can downplay it, but they are disciplined 95% of the time. Whenever they have a goal, dream, vision, they keep their focus on getting it and maintaining it. This kind of people may come up as harsh, strict, even in relation to others. They're usually known as the disciplinarians, but they make really good leaders that inspire you to push through, to break through, no matter what you're facing, and this keeps them grounded. It keeps them excited, really. Another example are really opinionated people. God made them really opinionated, and in negative light, they are truly stubborn. But in positive, they are goal-getters. Such people don't take to corrections easily because they believe their own way is the best. But when God breathes on their uniqueness, they make really great builders, treasurers, assistants, because they take a lot of things to heart and are very loyal people. In fact, such people usually face a lot of struggle submitting to people, or rather groveling to people, whether at the workplace or in family settings, because they see their opinion as best. And they also some days following through to a process, even if it will end in failure. The last but not the least are the overly compassionate. This sort of people can die for you, they can pay for you, do things for you, and even if you treat them badly or wrongly, they may still show so much mercy to the point of complacency, like it's negatively affecting them, but they just care so much about you, they are not even saying themselves. An example is a really compassionate individual I know. This lady was bullied in a school setting, and instead of fighting for the bullies who nearly killed her to actually be disciplined and be truncated from the school, this lady was still thinking about their well-being, about their families. She was so much more considerate of their families, especially financially and all of that. But with balance, she has an inner circle of family and friends who understand her, who cherish her, and celebrate her uniqueness. They understand her, and that's the beauty of certain forms of individuality. It does not mean that she cannot operate, have a firm opinion, but this is just one of the things that stands out the most about her. 2, downplaying your uniqueness while you build in silence. If you're good at dancing, there's nothing wrong if your current season will not welcome the dance moves and style you have, that you either don't dance, and understand that some days your seasons will just suppress the desires and willingness to do certain things. You're not even going to be aware that you're suppressing it. Some days your seasons will do that, but other days you must suppress it consciously before it becomes a subconscious thing, or you dance but don't reveal all your moves. It's strategy to enable you gain better grounds on discovering your unique style and maintain that unique style. No matter how open to change and dynamicity you can be, it helps you gain sound backing for that desire. One way or the other, it can just be a healthy boundary when you just don't do certain things in public while you're building in silence in private. So number 3 is publicizing a dream, vision, goal, talent, business idea, or startup to the point of desperation, and after a while just taking a step back, like regaining your cool. When you take a step back when you're walking, there's something you do. Like taking a step back is a really big deal, because when you take a step back, you're able to see things from a clearer perspective. But when you're constantly in the face of something, you may not see things for the way they are. Advertising by going all the way, even to the point of being extra, will look desperate, as though you are actually seeking for attention. Although it resembles foolishness, it creates awareness for all that may like that product. Over time, a filter happens for those well-meaning family or not family and friends. That means they're well-meaning or not, who may not like and they may not have the resources, or are overtly or are not as overly enthusiastic about this idea as you are. So in publicity, you get feedback, whether it's positive or negative, and you are able to work with that feedback to get better and much more productive. Remember, in support, it's not healthy when pressure mounts up in a case of dislike. For example, they dislike your product, something or someone dislikes your product, and such that a person or group betray their individuality, their essence, their godly values, especially godly values, to support you. Else eventually turns to aggressive hate for that idea, which can tarnish your reputation and make you equally also aggressive, hatefully. Here, when you take a step back, you can focus fully on God and also reflect. Taking a step back is a place of reflection from everything you have been seeing, but now you are seeing it from a much more clearer perspective, ungodly counsel to take, and misaligned ideas to keep aside. And it helps you be fully aligned to the Holy Spirit, to be open to His ideas, to be open, to be really open. 4 is agreement to an idea or opinion to gain greater grounds for demolishing that opinion if negative, or to maintain peace, a form of quiet and avoid drawing attention to yourself. You listen to ideas that are very negative. If listening, or rather hearing, will help you see reasons why that idea is bad and should not be tolerated or encouraged. Although you are not empowered, you can get carried away. So it's wisdom to be led by God. For whom God leads, He will empower. So to sustain peace means, for example, the conflict is getting out of hand and the other party is adamant to stand on their opinion as the best option. This is known as backing down. It occurs in relationships, and this is unconventional wisdom resembling foolishness. It will help you navigate and handle disagreements with ease. In backing down or cutting contacts with people, ideas, especially ideas, opinion, environments where you can lift your head up, especially from a place of hurt, will strengthen you to be and stay humble, lest you become arrogant. And God's children will love wholly when their hearts are purified from unjustified hate, hurtful aggression, and bitterness, and be maintaining peace when the other party does not understand your perspective. Hence, if you are in the wrong, you should calm down. If you're in the right, let go. To maintain peace, let God teach you wisdom. Wisdom. If any man lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who giveth to all men an upbraided note. So 5, it's leaving a toxic situation, relationship, or mindset. And it could mean the you they knew and the you are, which is aligned to God's will, is different. And in love or in hate, or even in concern, there is a pressure to return to old seasons or old habits or a lackluster lifestyle. It's like backwardness, a form of backsliding. When you now want to be filled with your own ways, that places confusion over the clarity God is giving you. In this season, pressure is real. Know and understand that if and when you lose sight of the beauty of the process, or you agree with other people's terms and conditions to the point of forsaking God's instructions and impulses, and you will soon actually become hateful as your spirit gets angered easily, because the Spirit of God in you knows you are downplaying the individuality God gave you. Like when you're trying to accept an idea when it is not, it's giving you confusion over the clarity God is giving you, and it's downplaying the individuality God gave you. So please, others, you can become seriously hateful and you'll be transferring aggression. And you see, wishy-washy is double-minded, doubtful, people-pleasing, trusting the opinion of man above God's counsel. But when you leave, you can live from a mindset, it can be an environment, it can be anything. You would be able to majestically walk in purpose, and even if you don't have all the support you need, you will be at peace. For purpose brings clarity, and clarity gives you Godspeed and right directives and instructions that will help you move forward in life. And 6 is doing the opposite to the way you feel, just to maintain balance. For example, smiling when you feel to laugh. For example, when the situation calls for smiling, crying when you're actually not sorrowful. Complaining sort of appraising, the endpoint will be good and godly. And it could also mean that you are seriously excited about a new opportunity and you just want to immediately jump at it. Like, trust God's timing, especially when it comes to opportunities. Seek God's leading in regards to the matter. Even if you have desired this opportunity for the longest time, it's wisdom to reconsider, reflect, rethink, and review your answer in due time. Wisdom is right strategy aligned to your seasons while you build your ideas and plans for offense or defense.
Reminded, dear lovelies, to stay unique and unapologetically you in Jesus' name. And that's a wrap. Baby.